Hi, Sue Psychologist here. I'm back in the kitchen today and focusing on the importance of food as a means of nurturing and nourishing our system. We really understand better now this important connection between our gut health and our brain health. Food, the making of food, the eating of food, when we approach it from a mindful perspective, when we're calm and regulated, it has a very powerful way of soothing, calming, and anchoring our system in the present. So I'm going to take you through cooking a simple chicken broth soup recipe. The process of it can be very mindful, but the eating of it is very nurturing and nourishing to our entire system at an emotional, brain, and physical level. In the winter months, which are typically very cold and dry and light, so they make us quite ungrounded, foods that are very nourishing and nurturing like stews and soups that are full of herbs and root vegetables provide this hydrating, soothing, moist, nurturing that comes into our system from the inside out. For this recipe, you'll need some olive oil, some carrot and celery, and if you can eat onion, you would also have your onion chopped up and put in there. I also have some turmeric, some fresh ginger, some salt, pepper, fresh bay leaf, some oregano. Then of course, I've got a free range chicken here. And then also have some greens, so some zucchini, green beans, and some chopped kale. So first of all, we heat up the pot on the stove on about medium heat. We then put the olive oil into the pan just to warm that up. Then we've got our carrot and celery, and of course if you have onion, I can't tolerate onion, I'm allergic to it, so I don't have that in there, but you most certainly can. We pop this in here. Be sure to have a cooking assistant. My assistant loves to pick up anything that falls on the floor, and he's rather helpful in saving cleaning time. I'm just going to gently saute the carrot and celery and onion if you have it. I'm going to turn down the heat to about 3. Now you can saute this, again if you had onion, until the onion was translucent. I'm going to do this for a few minutes, and I'm just going to add in the turmeric, the fresh ginger. The turmeric was grated and then the ginger is just chopped up. I've got a nice, just big, I really like having some, this is some Celtic salt. I love having quite a bit of salt because I don't have it in many things. We've got some black pepper. Again, black pepper works really well with turmeric to bring out its nutritional and digestive properties. Maybe a few teaspoons of oregano. I'm going to probably put in, again, this is not that precise, it's you know, most of you are probably a lot more experienced than me. I'm going to give that a little bit of a stir, get the olive oil covering all of the parts as we saute it, just on gentle heat. So that's been in for a few minutes. We're now going to add around about 1.5 litres of water. This is just cold water. Just a tip here, put cold water in and let it heat up on the gentle heat. Otherwise, when we put the chicken in, if you put it into boiling water, the chicken will go quite tough. So start with the cold, let it heat up gently. So with the chicken, we've just washed it, patted it dry. We're going to put it into the pan or into the pot with the breast side down, and because the water is not too hot, that's easy to do. Just going to place that right in there. Now you can see my chicken isn't completely covered, so depending on the size of your chicken, the size of your pot, you may need to add a bit more water. So I am going to add probably, we'll see, maybe about another litre. We just want to just cover the top of the chicken. So this is an extra litre that I'm covering. I always tend to buy quite big chickens. Okay, so now that we've got the chicken and all the water in there, I'm going to give it a bit of shake. Make sure it's completely covered. You can stir a little bit over the top of the chicken. I'm going to add the bay leaves in now. If there's any other herbs, spices, anything else, make sure you've added all of that. Give that a bit of a shake. Now we're going to place the lid on and turn the heat up to bring it up to boil. So I'm going to put this on boil. I've got an induction stove top, so I've just clicked it onto boil. We're going to bring that to the boil. Once it's been brought to the boil, I'm going to turn it right down to a simmer, so maybe level 2 or 3. on the stove top and let it simmer there for around 30 minutes.
A few moments later.
So that just took a few minutes and that's come to the boil, so I can show you that's boiling. We do not want to let it boil for too long, so we're going to drop it immediately down to simmer around about 2 or 3. We put the lid back on, then we're going to let that just simmer away for about 30 minutes. So pop a timer on, come back in 30 minutes.
One eternity later.
Okay, so this has been simmering away for about 35 minutes. You could go anywhere from 30 to 45 minutes. We are now going to take the lid off. You can see it's just simmering away. And we can taste this. Of course, it is quite hot. Okay, just going to taste it. I would add a bit more flavor for the taste, so I'm going to pop a bit more salt in. Like I said, this is Celtic salt. You're going to pink Himalayan salt, any salt that you love. I have quite low blood pressure and I don't eat many foods that are pre-packaged at all, so I can afford to add a bit of salt, and I'm going to add a bit more pepper. Add as much as you want for your flavoring. I like quite a lot here. And then we are going to be turning this off. So we'll turn it off here. We're going to turn the chicken over so the breast side, the other side now, can get some cooking time. So we just use our tongs just to twist that over, probably more elegantly than I'm going to do it. There we go. Just make sure that it's got a nice shake. We don't actually want to leave the lid off for very long because we want to keep all that heat in there. And we want to now just let that rest for at least 60 minutes. Sometimes we might make this in the morning and then pop the lid on, go about the day, come home, and then do the rest of it and get it ready for dinner. So at least 60 minutes with the lid on with the heat off, and you could leave it much longer if you have other things to do in the day.
2 hours later.
Okay, we are going to take the lid off. The heat and temperature is off. We're going to be taking the chicken out. It's this beautiful, more golden color because of the turmeric that I've put in here. We're going to be taking the chicken out, popping it in the bowl, and we're going to shred the chicken and then pull some of the bones and other things apart. We like to keep them in a separate bowl so then I can make some stock from the chicken. So we use every part of the chicken. I'm going to be using just tongs and whatever way you can least or most messily get this out of here. Just going to place this right into the bowl with a nice chicken. Oh, it smells fantastic. And now I'm going to pop this pot back on. We're going to bring this to a boil. We've got zucchini and beans. We're going to keep the kale till very last because that does not need long at all. We're just going to pop this in my expert way into the pot. It's easier just to use hands, right? There we go. It's very connected to nature to throw things everywhere. Here we go. Yeah, I'm going to pop that all in. So we've got that in there. I'm going to put this lid on. Bring that to the boil. So that's going to boil whilst we shred the chicken. I'm going to bring that down to medium heat, maybe 6. We're now going to shred the chicken. So I'm going to start with the legs. We're going to be taking the skin off to put in the stock bowl. There we go. And so again, I quite like using my hands. You could use the knife and fork. Just going to be basically peeling, and it's just cooked so well. That's just coming off really nicely and easily. There. And take all the skin off. It's not too hot to do this, I don't think. I think it's quite nice. Now we're just going to shred this. Now that's really boiling. You can see it really just falls beautifully off the bone. And we'll basically be using the bones for the stock. If you have a little chef assistant in the form of a Labrador sitting right beside you salivating, I would not give him the chicken bones, but sometimes I give him a cheeky little bit of chicken. Sit. Chef assistant.
Social media manager.
We go. Okay. Social media manager, get some chicken.
Thank you.
Shake. I will. It's good to have this.
Oh, that's good.
Isn't it good?
Mmm.
So what I'm needing is like, there'll be none left.
So moist.
Okay, pop this over here.
That's it.
So just shredding it up here. So just with the fork, holding it with the tongs, get that really nice organic look. You can see you've got most of the meat off here. Yes, there is some missing because I might have snacked on some. And we've got this now, just the leftovers of the chicken, and the bones will go into the stock bowl. Really great to pop this into a pot, hot water, celery, carrot, whatever veggies you've got left over. Let that just simmer away anywhere from 2 hours to 12 hours. And then you've got the basis of stock for, at home, we love to do that and then just use it in spaghetti, in soup, in the next round of things. So there's always this stock going in the house, which is lovely, and it smells great. Now that the chicken's all shredded, we are going to make sure this is just on a little tiny simmering heat. I'm going to put the chicken back into the soup in here. Do not burn yourself. I'm just using my hands. Clearly a eating and cooking with hands kind of person. Now the kale goes in. It does not lead long at all. I tend to put most of it in and leave a little bit for the garnish on top of the soup. I'll leave that. I'm going to stir that in, and this is my ladle, but it probably is only going to need a minute or so. We're really just putting the chicken in to heat it back up. You're not wanting to cook it too long and make it tough, and we're just letting the kale warm up as well. Also does not take very long, maybe about a minute. I like to also have my ghee. If you want to make your own ghee, refer to my previous video on making ghee. And this is lovely. Once we pop it in the bowl, add a little bit of ghee, salt, pepper, and maybe for me, some gluten-free toast to add to that as well. Now we are ready to eat. Grab this beautiful soup, lots of chicken, kale, all of the things in here. And I mean, cooking this, I am now pretty hungry, so I'll take a few healthy portions. And it's nice to pop parsley, kale, something on top. And I am at the moment, because it's winter and I'm trying to oil myself and nourish from the inside, I'm putting ghee on pretty much everything. So I'm going to pop a little bit of ghee in there, give it a bit of fat, salt on top. That is your simple chicken soup. I cannot wait to hear how you go cooking it. Let me know in the comments how you feel and what it tastes like.